Will. It's been quite a while since I've gone on any hikes. Actually, I think it's been since September. So I decided I'm long overdue for a hike. So right now it's late January. I think the high today is supposed to be 32, and I think the low is supposed to get down. Low tonight is supposed to get down to like 10 or 11 with some wind. I'm here. Got my pack ready. I borrowed some snowshoes from work, so I'm going to give them a shot. I think I might need them here going up the mountain. My game plan today, it's going to be kind of a shorter hike. I'm going to hike from the Caledonia State Park where I'm at now, northbound on the Appalachian Trail. I'm planning to hike past the Locust Gap shelter, and then hike. There's a long pine run reservoir up past the shelters. I'm going to hike around it, and then back to the shelter, spend the night there, and then come back tomorrow morning. So we'll see how that goes. Well, I hiked about maybe a mile, and I'm turning around going back to my car. I'm going to switch out boots. So I was a little worried about how cold it was going to be tonight, so I decided to try to hike in my Laurels. But after a mile walking in these, I can already tell that that's not going to work out so well. So I'm going back. It's not like I'm on a big agenda. I don't have a big agenda or anything. So I'm heading back to the car, switching out my boots, and then I'll try this again. But yeah, I can tell just in a little bit that I've walked that if I decide to push on with these boots, I'm going to be hurting pretty bad later on. So, well, I guess we'll see how it works out. My other boots aren't too bad. It's just I worry with those. I worry about with how they will be with the temperature. So it's kind of a trade-off. All right, so got my other boots on. Feels a lot better. I actually also just shed a layer, threw my coat back on the pack here. The last thing I want to do is get too hot and work up a sweat, because that'll make me really cold later on, and I don't want that. So, so I think I got my boot situation sorted out, and now we'll actually see if we can't get this hike started. There's a fairly large group from Washington, D.C. That got at the parking area at the same time I did, hiking in the same direction. So this might work out anyway, just to put some space between them and I. They, I think, are aiming at hiking up to the Birch Run shelters. I'm not being that ambitious, especially with it going to be this cold out. I want to be halfway close to my car. That way, if it gets too cold, then I can bail. So by the time I'm done hiking today, I'll only be, after the loop, I'll only be about 2 miles from my car. So that's not too bad. Yeah, I'm by the footbridge that crosses the creek here. Unfortunately, the creek is actually flooded. It's way over, went over its banks over there. Fortunately, most of it's frozen, so I'm gonna cross the footbridge and pick my way across the frozen parts here to get myself back on track to where I need to be to meet the Appalachian Trail. And by the way, I know the hat looks goofy, but it's really warm, so I'm going to keep it on. So we'll see how I do. Hopefully I don't bust my ass crossing the ice over here. But we'll see how it works out. finally made it to the Appalachian Trail. Went up a pretty decent ascent here at the beginning. So I'm taking a break, trying to cool down. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't want to get too overheated because that's just gonna hurt me. Definitely hurt me later on. I think somehow I caught up to the DC hikers. I'm not sure how that happened because they were already on the trail when I started to go back to my car, and I went to my car, took my time there, and made it back to the trail here. And I think they're just ahead of me. So I'm gonna give them a little time to move up, and also give myself a little more time to catch my breath. So, and then I'll carry on here. Alright, I'm still making my ascent up the mountain here. I did stop and put on my snowshoes. So it definitely makes it easier. There's no slip on the slide. Alright, I split off the Appalachian Trail. It goes up the hill here, maybe another half a mile or less actually to get to the Locust Gap shelters where I plan on spending the night. I split off and I'm on the side trail. I think it's the Laurel, called the Laurel Hill Trail. Had a little small stream crossing. To right off the bat, so I had to take the snowshoes off, and I just put them back on. So I'm gonna head up this trail. This should take me up towards the reservoir. We'll see how far up the trail I go. I might go the whole way up to the reservoir and back. I don't know, it just kind of depends on the timing and how far I feel like going. So I did run into Boy Scout troop, and that was kind of interesting because hiked with them for a little while, and they were talking about land navigations, and so we had a pretty good discussion about that, and got to show the boys some things with the map and compass. That's not something I was planning on doing today, but in the meantime, it doesn't look like many people are on this trail, so I'm going to enjoy some quiet time. Taking a quick break here. I wanted to dig out my map and take a quick bearing. I'm at a place where the Hoosac Run Trail runs one way and the Locust Gap Trail runs the other way, and I wanted just to double check that I still wanted to follow the Locust Gap, which I think I do. So I'm going to head that way. Looks like I do have a small water crossing yet on up the trail, so I have to take off the snowshoes and put it back on. I have to say I'm really liking the snowshoes. It makes it a lot easier getting down these trails, and I think I'm making it's actually I'm making pretty good time at it too. It's actually speeding me up instead of slowing me down, like I initially thought it would. So, I'd say I'm pretty happy with them. I'm gonna shoot a quick bearing here to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction. All right. Yep. Well, I made it to the power line, which means I'm getting fairly close to the reservoir. The power lines always kind of freak me out a little bit because they're high power lines, and if you listen really close, you can hear them crackle. So I'm going to get underneath them here. I'm going to stop and I'm going to be real quiet, and maybe the video will pick it up. I'm not so sure that was the line cracking. I think that was the grass cracking. So I'm getting the heck out of here. I don't know. Hard to tell if it is the grass. Kind of sounds like it. You can definitely hear the lines. But I don't want to stick around there too long. So I'm going to make my way the rest of the way down here to the reservoir. I don't think I'm going to walk as far up the reservoir as I was originally planning because of my my late start and my double back to change out the boots. So I want to have plenty of time to set up camp, get comfortable, and maybe even take a nap here later this afternoon. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel when I get there. Okay, I made it to the Long Pine Reservoir. I'm in a little, I guess it's like a fishing / observation deck here. View's pretty good. Looks like there's been some snowmobiles that were going out on the ice at the lake. I don't know if I trust doing that or not, but apparently they did. And there's a few flurries flying around. But other than that, it's super quiet, and I think I'm one of the only, maybe one of two people in the entire area up here right now. So it's kind of peaceful. I'm going to rest up here a little bit and then start backtracking back and hit the AT again, the Appalachian Trail again, and make my way to the shelter and get set up there. So, not pushing mileage or anything like that. This is, for me, this is more of a relaxing trip, and I also kind of want to test some cold weather gear and tactics and all that stuff out. So it seemed like a good time to do it and a good place to do it. So I'm working my way back to the shelter. I'm probably maybe a third of the way there, but I can definitely feel the temperature dropping. So the sooner I can get back and get my stuff set up, the better. That way I can take it easy the rest of the evening. Okay, I'm off the Locust Gap Trail, and I'm on the logging road that connects up with the Appalachian Trail. So I'll follow this up and hook onto the Appalachian Trail for about a half a mile or so, and then get to the shelter. So, getting close. Well, I finally made it to the shelter. I'm glad. Now that I'm here, I turned on my took my phone off airport mode, because that's what I do to save the batteries on it, and saw that they changed the forecast for tonight. Now they're saying it's going to be 5 degrees. So I was planning on like a 10. When I started out, they were calling for 12. Difference between 12 and 5 is, for me, is pretty significant. I don't think I'm going to stay overnight here at the shelter if it's going to be 5. That's not counting the wind chills. So I think I'm going to get the pack on and pack out of here while I still have daylight. Still had a great time. I got the snowshoe all over the place. I think I did about 8 miles of snowshoeing. So you know, it is what it is. So, well, I'll do another winter hike when it's just a little warmer. 5 degrees is too cold. So, all right, so I'm gonna head on out of here. Well, I made it off the Appalachian Trail, and I'm back in Caledonia State Park, and I'm working my way to the car. As I said earlier, I was originally planning on staying at the shelter, but after checking out the forecast, they had updated it, saying it was going to be a lot colder than what they were initially saying this morning. So I had decided not to chance it. I mean, I probably could have toughed it out, but to be honest, I don't feel like torturing myself today. So you know, I'm heading out. So maybe if there's somebody else there with me, but I might have toughed it out too. But being that it's just me, and if something comes up, I'm on my own. So, anyway, it was a good day. I had a lot of fun snowshoeing. I think I'll have to figure it out when I get home. If I had to guess, I probably covered about 11 miles today. Probably be a hair over that by the time I get to the car. But overall, it was a great day. Had a lot of fun snowshoeing. Covered a new trail that I've never been on. Got to test out my pack with a pretty full load. I'm actually packed pretty heavy for this trip. So, all in all, it was a good trip. So, until next time, I'll see you guys later.